What's up, everybody? This your girl Keys Tunes React. If you are new, please hit the like and subscribe button, comment, and leave your thoughts down below. And I appreciate the support. Let's get into it. Now, today, we're going to be talking about Zira, the vengeful lioness to the tyrant Scar from the original movie. Who is Zira? Well, as I stated, Zira was one of Scar's loyal followers who valued his royalty to the core and his beliefs on how the kingdom should be operated. There is no further specifics in detail as why this is, when Scar had the majority of the lionesses suffering due to no food or water, according to Sarabi's statement reported to him in the original Lion King.
It's over. There is nothing left. We have only one choice. We must leave Pride Rock.
We're not going anywhere.
Then you have sentenced us to death.
How can one follow someone who didn't care whether you starved to death or not, and didn't make no effort to leave Pride Rock when they were supposed to? Anyway, I digress. In between Scar's tyranny, Zira happened to have 3 cubs that consisted of Nuka, Batani, and the young Kovo. For whatever reason, Scar chose Kovo to be his hire when he was just born, which excited Zira. And if you are wondering, in the second movie, they made it apparent
He wasn't my father, but he was still part of me.
of course, because we needed a love story between him and Simba and Nala's independent daughter, Kiara. Duh. Disney was like, we ain't having no incest. However, things would not turn out the way it was supposed to when a reformed Simba, alive and well, come back to Pride Rock to take back what is his after seeing the mess Scar has done to his kingdom, which rightfully infuriates Zira because that put a damper in what was intended for her young son. As we all know, Simba ends up defeating Scar, but it was the hyenas that officially took care of him. However, Zira vowed and swore Simba was the main responsible for his death, and I believe it's because she felt he returned and ruined everything. Not that he indeed killed Scar, but he ended up becoming king after his passing. Due to the fact Zira refused to serve the rightful king, Simba, she was banished and exiled by him and any other lionesses that were loyal to Scar, and sent them straight to the Outlands as they became what is known as Outsiders. Nala and Simba are now king and queen of Pride Rock and have welcomed a cute cub on their own named Kiara, who is destined to be queen of Pride Rock after Simba. Zira is obviously still mad that Simba took over and vows vengeance, and now that he has a daughter, make things even more annoying for her. However, she decides that she has to groom her son Kovo into this killer to take out Simba and take his spot that she feels is rightfully his. And also wants Kovo to get close to Kiara, as it will bring him closer to Simba for an easy target. This was an excellent plan until Kovo's feelings got too deep with Kiara to even have second thoughts of taking Simba out. Batani, Zira's second eldest child, reports to her that Kovo didn't take out Simba like he was supposed to, which rightfully infuriates her and that she feels ultimately betrayed. She devises a plan to set Kovo up and make it seem like Kovo initiated an ambush on Simba, as Zira and her crew tries to get rid of Simba when he is alone for once. This almost worked had Simba not escaped like he did. Her eldest son Nuka ended up dying due to a log in the face. For once, Zira shows some emotion to her child, but it's too late, as she treated this nigga like shit the entire time. Now that he's dead, she's upset. Some mother's boy. Anyway, Zira has had enough of Simba getting away. She believes he had corrupted Kovo and took her eldest son away, and decides to take his pride by force at this point, that he won't see them coming. As Zira prepares for war with her gang of lionesses and her only loyal child up at this point, Batani, Simba, Nala, and their pride prepare to fight and protect their kingdom, when Zazu informs them that Zira was on her way. The war is officially on, and Zira's clan is the one who seems to be winning, which is hella disappointing to say the least. You'd think they all knew what Zira was capable of, at least trained to prepare for the worst. Gosh, Simba, you are one sucky ass king, bro. Mufasa would never. He would have been full on prepared, my nigga. But
You will never be Mufasa.
Got him!
That you didn't train your lionesses to prepare for the worst in case it came down to it? Shout out to Nala, who was the only one that happened to have an advantage. Before Zira and Simba have their standoff showdown, prepared to fight to the death, Kiara and Kobo intervene, stopping the fight from continuing. Zira ain't trying to hear this mushy shit, though, and orders Vatani to attack immediately. But Vatani, realizing how dumb this war is, decided to not fight anymore, which sets Zira in a rage and threatens her by saying this.
If you will not fight, then you will die as well.
Which reminds me, Zira had no regard for her children at all. She treated them all like pawns and nothing more. Every time they didn't do what she said, she had a complete attitude. Like no mother should ever treat their children this way. But Zira didn't give a fuck about them, just like all she just wanted was for them to obey her and do what she said when it came to taking over Simba's pride.
We were there, in the Pride Lands. We saw everything. We saw the whole thing. We saw Simba's cub.
What? At the Pride Lands, my pets? So green. So inviting.
The other lionesses are disgusted by Zira's selfish behavior and realize this is stupid and dogs her out, leaving her alone. Simba insists Zira just put things behind them, but she just blatantly refuses as her loyalty to Scar is heavy and she won't give up so easily. Before she can attack Simba though, when everyone is distracted by the river breaking its course, Kiara intercepts and protects her father, almost sacrificing her life to save him. Just when hope is all lost for the mean lioness, Kiara offers Zira's paw to help her up, but Zira is beyond far gone at this point and refuses by swiping Kiara's paw away. She tries once more, but Zira ends up slipping off the ledge and plummets to her death down beneath in the river below, killing her officially. So with all that being said, at the end of it all, it's safe to say that Zira was a one-dimensional character from start to finish. She had one goal, and she carried that out until her ultimate death. She could not see past the fact that her son deserved to be king, and Scar deserved to be upheld with the most respect. But even still, when Kobo realized he wasn't the lion his mother saw him out to be, like Scar, she felt betrayed. She wanted Simba to fall because of the fact her hatred for him extended beyond everything. And she was so far gone at this point near the third and second act of the movie that everything was his fault. He ruined everything for her. So at this point, it was beyond what she wanted, and she just wanted Simba eliminated. And I say that she is far more scarier and intimidating than Scar for this reason. Don't get me wrong, Scar was menacing, and he was scary. But the fact that she planned an entire ambush without the knowledge on Simba knowing and damn near got away with killing him almost, and she trained her lionesses to be brutal killers when it came to war if needed, just make her so ruthless and frightening. She had no mercy. This lioness had not an inch of mercy in her and just hate spewed far greater than most villains in Disney. She was unpredictable, and as I said earlier, it's a shame Simba knew this about her, but didn't prepare her for if she decided to one day just full force cause shit again. Because Nala, besides her, all their lionesses were getting their ass beat by these weak ass outsiders. Even though they were trained well, they were still unhealthy and malnourished than them due to less food and water. So the fact that the weak ass Pridelanders could barely kill any of them was disappointing. But I digress. Not to mention, Zira's evil bad song, That's My Lullaby, is a lot more menacing than Scar's Be Prepared, if I'm being honest. The lyrics are so morbid. The way her plans on how to destroy Simba's kingdom is haunting. Take a listen to this.
The sound of Simba's dying out is your death. His lioness's mournful cry. That's a lullaby.
It was like, goddamn, okay, tell us how you truly feel, sis. Yes, Scar talked about killing Simba and Mufasa, yes, but he didn't say shit like Mufasa getting his throat slashed and little Simba getting stomped to death. outspoken, and the fact Simba and them had no idea any of these evil schemes were taking place is diabolical. He should have been paranoid before Koval came back, but he failed to get rid of Simba, which clearly backfired. Had Zira been the one to kill Mufasa and Simba was just hanging out near him, she wouldn't rely on anybody to take the small cub out. She would have just ended him off the strength he was still alive and know he'd still be king regardless of Mufasa's death. He had to go. Scar may have had an ounce of love for Simba and couldn't find himself to do it himself when he had a clear point advantage, and the fact that Simba was in a highly vulnerable state after witnessing his father's demise and just confused gave him more than enough opportunity. Zira would not have gave a fuck. Also, Zira came close to succeeding to killing Simba twice. You got to give her credit for that. Both calls were lucky on Simba's behalf. If you consider the ambush that took place, this nigga was up against desperate lionesses that were starving and hatred in their hearts for what he did to them. Outnumbered and all. He didn't have Wifey or the other minions to back him. It was unexpected. Wounded my boy so bad he got caught limping back to Pride Rock and fainted off severe injury. And of course, had it not been for them meddling kids, Kiara and Koval, stopping the feud, I'm quite sure Zira would have ended Simba. I mean, if you think about it, not just the lionesses, but Simba was having a rough ass time fighting off them bitches himself. Got so caught up that Zira caught him lacking. He just slapped his ass. And lastly, I do want to point out how batshit crazy Zira actually was. Actually, if I was a kid watching The Lion King 2 and they kept this disturbing ass deleted cut from the movie into the final, I'd probably be so traumatized and never watch this film again. Just like even at my big ass age, I would never set foot to watch Pinocchio or Fox and the Hound based on the trauma I induced as a child from those films. This would have been not very too far in that aspect. Take a look at this crazy shit.
Zira, come on. I'll help you.
I swear, Disney wants to fuck up your mental sometimes. I'm convinced. So I feel off the strength of all that, I prefer Zira a better villain than Scar, and my favorite of the two. Scar was an absolute menace, like I said. Yes, him killing Mufasa is just always bone chilling and iconic. I can imagine what I would have felt like in theater seeing that play out in Jeremy Irons' amazing performance. But Zira is so well done too. The fact that she has a great design and an amazing voice actress that does her voice so well and convincing, I wouldn't mind crowning her a top villain among those like Scar, Hades, Cruella, Ursula, Jafar, and Captain Hook, who are Disney's most loved villains. So with that being said, everybody, thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you think Zira is a better villain than Scar? Or do you still think Scar has one up on her no matter what? I also would like to know your thoughts about that. Please leave the comments down below. Until then, it's your girl, Keeks Tunes React. And I'll catch you on the next video. I'm out. Peace.